Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you had a great week. I hesitate to say this, but today is April 1st, 2022, and this is your April Fool's Day Friday planning video. There are a lot of April Fool's Day jokes being pulled today. I'll leave that to others. I think the world is crazy enough in the real world. Wouldn't you agree? Whose idea was April Fool's Day anyway? Do you ever wonder that? So, according to the History Channel, the real source of it is still a mystery. Some say that it goes back to the 1500s when the calendar went from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar, and people who missed the change were called the April Fool. So I also like the idea of the vernal equinox is the source. Living in Chicago, believing April is spring, that's a great way to be the April Fool, as of course we had snow here last night. Overall, it's become the time of hoaxes. One of my favorites before we move on, 1996, Taco Bell announced that on April Fool's Day that they had purchased the Liberty Bell and they were renaming it the Taco Liberty Bell. Okay, enough about the history of April Fool's Day. Notable birthday today for Jesse. On his birthday, not an April Fool. So as we start the month of April, once again, we come to the Financial Literacy Month. So I'm going to try my best to bring you some of that on these Friday planning videos. It is also National Social Security Month. So we're going to try to keep a lot of that content coming to you this month and see if we can give you some of that information that's good to work with. I do want to take advantage of this time of year to talk about two things. First, as we've discussed, IRA contributions are due by April 18th. Just a few weeks away. So please get these done early. Markets and offices are closed on April 15th for Good Friday. So please try to have these done by April 14th. Since we're talking about IRAs again, I do want to remind you that we want to review with you your beneficiaries of your retirement accounts. We try to review these with you often, but please help us. Have you adjusted your IRA and or your business retirement plan beneficiaries and or your contingent beneficiaries? Speaking of beneficiaries, we do need to review them, not just on your retirement plans, but also any insurance product or life insurance and annuities that you have. Have you updated them, or did you ever even submit them in the beginning, your beneficiaries for your insurance with the insurance companies? How about the employer plans if you have them? So again, very, very important. While we're talking about annuities insurance, here's something I've come across a lot recently. Do you know why you bought that annuity that you own? What it does, how much it costs, what goals it's designed to help you achieve? This is a very common thing I'm running into these days. Annuities are complex by nature. While you should always understand what you're buying when you buy it, that understanding may be fleeting. So, do you understand your old annuities that you bought? If you bought them from me, we should be reviewing them on a regular basis, so you should understand them. If you bought them from someone else, or you bought them long ago, and you're not in touch with that person anymore, or you haven't reviewed them recently, it's time, I think we should probably take a look at it. Let's make this the month to do that. I'm happy to review these contracts with you. The best way to do that is for you to send me a copy of the quarterly statement. You should be getting this in the next couple of weeks. They should be hitting your virtual mailbox or your real mailbox in the coming week or a couple of weeks. Once I have those, we'll find out exactly what they're set to accomplish, if they're still on track, if you still need them to meet those goals that you purchased them for. Okay, last for today, we've been talking for months now. The House of Representatives has finally passed the Secure Act 2.0, as it's called. If you recall from the Schoolhouse Rock videos about how a bill gets through Congress, remember that this one now will move on to the Senate. We'll keep you posted on how that goes. In the meantime, here are a few of the provisions that at least the bill as it sits right now and as it passed the House has to it. Employers will be required to automatically enroll eligible employees in the 401k plan at a 3% salary deferral. That's going to automatically increase every year until it gets to 10%. Employees can opt out, but I'll admit I get this one, but it still rubs me the wrong way because as we know, not everyone can afford to defer 3 to 10% of their income. We're going to see how that one goes. Catch-up contributions are again on the rise. Ages 62, 63, 64 can now make catch-up contributions of $10,000 up from $6,500. One of the biggest is the move again on the required minimum distribution age. Recall that we just moved from 70.5 to 72. We're moving again. 73 in 2022, 74 in 2029, 75 by 2032. There are a number of other changes that to employer retirement plans. Annuities are going to be allowed to be offered. Employer matches will also be able to be directed to your Roth 401k that's not currently allowed. The plan also creates a national database to address something we spoke about a few weeks ago, helping Americans reclaim their lost retirement accounts. Remember we talked about that, how to find your old retirement accounts. Overall, there's still some legislative action to go on this. We know that even when they say bipartisan, you can't count on politicians to agree on something. We're going to watch that for you. It will make a difference, unlike a lot of the other things that are going on in Washington. Okay, hope you have a great weekend. Come back on Monday for another full Monday market update. We're going to wrap up last week. We're going to wrap up the month of March and obviously even Q1 as a whole. Have a great weekend.